Hey everyone, it's day 16 of Instagram school. Usually I always start out the day talking about what I've done the past day. Basically nothing. I haven't done anything for 2 days. I have to admit I just got really busy with my work for other clients and couldn't focus on promoting myself. The good news is I continue to gain followers. Not a lot. I think I gained like 15. But given the fact that I hadn't done anything, it's a good sign, right? It shows that I've got good traction in the account and I have a good high quality followers. You can tell, and sometimes it's good to take a couple of days off because you can tell the quality of your followers, right? If you take a couple of days off and you bleed followers, that usually means that they were just really low quality. And the only reason you were gaining traction is because you just kept following more people and more people. So if you take time off and you gain followers, that means you're doing the right thing. And that you've got, is something that I focus on a lot, you have quality followers as opposed to focusing on the quantity. Okay, so we're going to do something a little bit different today. We're going to talk about key influencers. I've mentioned to them before, but I haven't really gone into it that much. So we're basically halfway through. You should be getting decent traction on your campaign, and it's time to start thinking about key influencers. So, number one, before I talk about anything, I think it's important to discuss why we care. The reasons we care are two reasons. Number one, influencer marketing is becoming really, really popular. If you are focused on a younger segment, so if you're focused on millennials or especially Generation Z or the Chinese market, you have to be doing this because this is the way that things are done now. I mean, there are entire clothing lines that launch only on Instagram. There are people that have huge designers that have massive followings that have done nothing except for promote their brand through key influencer marketing. So it's super important. It's also important for Instagram because Instagram has become the key platform for influencer marketing. So you got to know what you're doing. And even if your market is not that young and your market is not on the Chinese, influencer marketing is growing, especially in Generation X women. I read this really interesting fact today that said that 86% of women consult social media before they make a purchasing decision. So you have to be doing this. That's it, pure and simple. And a lot of them, they do social media not just to look at reviews, but to see what key influencers say. So it's super, super important, okay? And as I said, Instagram has become the key platform for doing this, which is why we need to talk about it, and I think we need to talk about it now. So, first, what's a key influencer? To make it super simple, let's look at, for example, Kim Kardashian. She's, whatever you think of the Kardashian family, whatever you think it's trash, whatever you want to say, probably true. But you also have to take a step back and look at what they've done and their skills, especially Kim, but that whole family, their skills in digital marketing, and her sisters are, it's incredible. I mean, my niece it was over Christmas, she was last year, she's 13, she's sending all these text messages to me and WhatsApp. She's like, you have to get me the Kylie Jenner makeup, and I looked, it was like $300 for a really crappy product, but it was just flying off the shelves, and it's because of her influencer campaign. I mean, it was magnificent. So it's really important you need to look at that. Another example of an influencer is Barack Obama. He's a key influencer. Anyone that's going to affect people's purchasing decisions. Gwyneth Paltrow, as irritating as she is, she's become a very good one as well. Among women, she's more Generation X women, so she's done a really good job there. But it's super important to know about these people and to watch what they're doing. We're not going to we'll focus on someone like Gwyneth Paltrow or Kim Kardashian because that's completely outside the scope of any kind of small or medium-sized business. Because the way that we're going to work with these people is you're going to eventually have to inspire them to work with you. You're going to have to partnership with them, or you can pay them. We're going to focus on number 1 and 2. So what you want to do is you want to focus on key influencers in your niche, in your location, in your individual market. You're basically looking for people that your potential customers are going to listen to, and then it's going to influence their buyer decision. Okay, so there's a number of ways we're going to work with them. Today we're going to start off with arguably the most important and probably the trickiest, which is identifying the good ones. Okay, so you're going to do this in 3 ways. So to identify what you're going to do, first you're going to focus on your hashtags. You should have a pretty good selection of hashtags established by now. As I said before, you kind of want to, it's okay to do some broad-based ones just to gain basic followers, but for this a key influencer research, you really want to focus on your more niche-based hashtags that you've been using. So ones based upon your location, or even different subsets of your location, or very specific to your industry or your niche. So I want you to pull those out, and for each one of those, I want you to go in and I want you to look in Instagram at the type in that whatever hashtag it is and look at the top posts. This is where you're going to find your key influencers. These are going to be people that have basically a lot of likes on whatever post they do, and then even look in with a whole bunch of followers. So you're going to find them, find the ones that are most relevant, and then once you do that, I want you to try to find ones that number 3 have really high engagement levels, because engagement is people that are engaged and influencers that are engaged with their base are the ones that are going to be the most influential in the buying decision. So, and this is actually much more important than just sheer number of followers, especially if you're trying to drive traffic to your site, if you're trying to generate leads, or you're trying to gain brand interaction. So there's kind of 2 tiers as far as engagement goes. There's 5% engagement, and then there's people that can achieve 10% engagement. If you've got someone that is in your target market, has very good followers, and has a 5% engagement level, that's great. 10% is even better. 10% is like a unicorn. I mean, that's amazing, right? So what you want to do, and to identify these people, is you want to take, or to get the engagement rather, is you're going to look at the post, you're going to look at the total number of people that commented on a post or that liked the post, and then you're going to divide that by the number of people that are following that person. And then once you back that out, you'll have your number. It's going to be either anything above 5%, so is good. Anything above that is even better. So what I want you to do today is use your hashtags, find your key influencers, find the key influencers in your niche, and then find the ones with at least 5% engagement. Once you get those, I want you to write them on a piece of paper, and we're going to use them in the future. Okay? That's it for today. Have a good one. Bye.